Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we will begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MK Ultra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun, or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Okay, and we're back. Woo! Welcome, everybody. Happy Members Only Monday. Thank you so much, Pink Puma, for becoming a member. We're so happy to have you here with us. Hello, Michelle, B Crumbs, Megsy, Roro, Forgets and Chiggles, Claudia. It's not rocket science, do my snot rocket. Poor Linda, MK Schmegma. We have Harlot, People Me, Chezzy, Sarah Bellum, Lydia Jade, Emily, Carol, Crime Crochet Coiffee, Con Artist, Julia, Victoria, Eyes Wide Open, Christina, Aries Girl, Petunia, Amanda, Pointer Lover, Nope, Not Today, Blue, Meat Noodle, 99 Problems, but Crime Ain't One, Musicity Mom, Darlene, Crystal, Unsupervised Maniac, Sunny's Grandma. Hello, everybody. Schmegma. All right, so we're gonna keep on Letecia style, and we're gonna break down and we're gonna analyze this Grusing footage, and we're gonna get through it, guys. We're gonna get through it. We're like about to be at the halfway point. We're a few minutes away. So thank you, Santi, for the super sticker. That's so kind of you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, so much. If you are a member, your support is so greatly appreciated, and I very much look forward to coming on weekly and doing these members only Mondays with you. That's Mr. Grusing to you, Melissa. You're right. I have such a crush on him. I do. Before we get started, this is Zoe Settle. We have seen Zoe before, but I just wanted to bring her back up because it's been a while. Zoe is missing since December 29th, 2023 out of Virginia Beach. She would be 17 years old now. She was last seen on December 29th, 2023, and it says she may travel to the Portsmouth, Virginia area. So if you have any information on her whereabouts, please contact the Virginia Beach Police Department. Thank you, Lace Lemons. That's very kind of you. Lace Lemons just busted somebody out. Congratulations. Welcome to the channel. Please thank Lace Lemons if you got the membership. Nobody likes being gray like Letecia's legs. So, with that being said, oh, here we go. I don't know if I'm prepared. I gotta like crack my neck for this. Tisha. About to be at the halfway mark, man. All right. So here we are. Oh, thank you, Eyes Wide Open. Thank you so much. It's so kind. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Here we go. Are we ready? I'm ready. I can do this. Gotta just get pumped. All right. Megsy just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Megsy. Congratulations to the recipients. Please thank Megsy if you just got busted out and were allowed into the chat. Thank you so much. All right. Congratulations. You guys are awesome. Here we go. Where we last left off. Oh, God. We last left off with yesterday. Letecia going over the events, or trying to go over the events of like the candle incident, the hike, and the Saturday before. But when I say try, it's because she's doing everything but answering. And so it's kind of like going, ooh. And so now you're going to see Grusing kind of go a little bit more directly in there. And so I'm just trying to prepare, because obviously it is discussing very sensitive events. So just please be mindful. But we're trying to just kind of focus on Letecia's body language, her behavior, anything that she's doing that's indicating that she's lying, which is all of the time. So, yeah, her gaslighting like crazy. Exactly. So we're just going to jump right back into it.
Went to Lena's room. I think he walked down. I don't remember exactly, but I know we all, because all 4 of us couldn't fit in the bed plus 2 dogs. But at one point in time, we had to switch the whole, like,
hold on.
Go sleep here, you sleep here.
And treat me like a princess. You'll never know when it's too late.
This is where we last left off. The Google searches. How did I forget that part? The Google searches. So Grusing turns around. And was like, oh yeah, was it not you who literally searched that I'm so unhappy, like, find military singles near me, I hate my stepson, like, was that not you? And she's like, no, Jim John, don't know, that wasn't me. Well, that was me, but that one wasn't me. Yeah, that one was me, but that one wasn't me. That she's doing like a bounce around game. And so she's really starting to get uncomfortable. Okay. So I'm going to jump back just like a minute so you could remember how uncomfortable these Google searches were. And that's where we left off. Yeah. The searches where she, like an idiot, she admits to some, but not all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always search for things when Albert was gone.
What is an offered plea? Did you figure out what an offered plea was?
Offered plea?
Yeah. ALFORD.
I think someone asked me that and I probably searched it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Do you remember? What did you remember?
I don't remember. I just remember something. Because someone was writing that online. So if anyone wrote something online, I looked it up. Just like the other day, someone wrote something about FBI come in or something, and if I see something online, I always Google what someone else says and see what, like what they're saying is matching what is saying online.
Right.
So like I did that completely. I do that all the time for everything.
So if you're not willing to go with who took Gannon, can you at least tell me what injuries he suffered? The true ones. As far as the cut foot, was that a legit injury?
Yes.
And where did that happen?
So you see the way she just very straightforward said yes. I believe Gannon did sustain a cut foot. Now that cut foot apparently happened immediately after Al left on Saturday. The murder didn't happen till Sunday. So we have the cut foot. Sorry. We have the cut foot on Saturday, the candle incident on Sunday, and then the murder on Monday. But I think that the way that she was very straightforward, and yes, I think that that was honest. Now, what she's going to say after this is the bullshit.
He was outside in the garage, and when he was outside in the garage, he was running to go help me take the trash, take the trash out, come back and help me get stuff out of the car, and then he stepped on something, which I left the blood there. Like, I left it, like, because Albert said, don't touch that fine wood or African wood, whatever kind of wood it was.
What did the piece of wood look like?
It's just, I don't know, like a board.
Okay. And it's still there in the garage?
I had to drive over them all the time. So, like, I always had to drive over the pieces of wood.
Right. But
right.
You didn't take that out of the garage?
It's too big. You couldn't fit it in anything. You couldn't fit the pieces. The long boards that were in the garage, you could not fit. I left. Okay, so there was the piece of board that I threw in the back of Albert's truck. And then there was the 2 long boards that were sitting there. So the board that was about like this size, and the board that was the long boards that were sitting here. I left the long boards because that was supposed to be the fancy wood, and I didn't want to ruin it by trying to get the blood off of it. The other piece of wood was the wood that I threw in the back of Albert's truck.
And what was that one?
There was a bunch of pieces that were laying around that from that night, from us running through there. It was like little pieces. There was a piece about this size, maybe a couple pieces. But
and
that
you threw it in the back of the truck? That bigger piece?
Well, you said bigger like this. It wasn't that big.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cheap wood. Like, I knew it was not the wood that he would be freaking out over. So from Sunday, he did hurt his foot from Sunday.
And how badly was it bleeding?
It wasn't. I say Saturday, I'm sorry. From Saturday. Albert had just left, like, to drive to the airport. He wasn't even gone long.
Mm-hmm.
He had just left to drive to the airport.
Okay. So did it require a Band-Aid?
Gannon, whenever he always does something, he tries to be like, he's not like Lena where he's like, oh, I need a Band-Aid or whatever. Gannon would literally walk around with toilet paper in the middle of his toe, and it would have blood or whatever, and just run everywhere to his room or whatever.
Yeah. So what did you do on this occasion?
We literally took the paper towel, that's why I just told you about the toe, and put it in between.
So it was in between his toes is where the injury was?
No, it was like wrapped here.
Okay.
We had it wrapped. And I don't remember if we got a Band-Aid, to be honest. This is what Gannon.
So that doesn't sound like a big injury.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, it was blood. There was no big injuries. I left it on the wood because I said, I'm not going to clean his fine African wood.
What did it look like on the wood? Drops, streaks?
Well, what I did originally was I was trying to take water to do it, but then I realized if I put cleaner, then that wouldn't do anything but cause the wood to damage, because Albert always wanted to build things with all this wood that we bought. And if I use those pieces of wood and all that stuff, then,
Did you ever use that shop vac to clean up anything out there?
No, I never used the shop vac. The shop vac was never, I couldn't even move anything with the shop. Anything that would have been used with the shop vac would have been Albert, other than the times that we brought it, which would have been weeks ago, and we did spring cleaning or fall cleaning around the house, in the corners, and that type of thing. Okay. So that would have been the shock vac. There was nothing I ever did and vacuumed up something with a shock vac.
Right, that helps me. I'm just asking.
Like any of that.
Right.
There was none of that ever happened.
So the burns on the arms weren't that bad. The cut on the toe or the bottom of the foot wasn't that bad.
So we still were able to go hiking. He was able to still go hiking. It was bleeding on the board.
But not after that, not all over the house, that sort of thing.
Well, he had the piece of paper and went down to his room.
Yeah. Like
wrapped around his foot. So, I mean, if anything,
I believe so, Amanda.
Drops of blood or something, but no.
What about the wound to the head that you talked to Al about?
So, Albert was like trying to get me to say whatever.
Right there is literally where we pause, because this opened the door to the severity of the injuries. But yes, you guys have picked up exactly what I was trying to say. Basically, as soon as Al walked out the door, Gannon's injuries started. God rest his soul. May he rest in peace now. It's horrific what he went through. Unimaginable, but it started from her own admission from Saturday night to Monday. But now he's asking about the head, and he's referring to all of those recorded pretext calls with Al. Letecia said many different scenarios about how Gannon got this head injury. But you have to also remember, she said that she lied to Al and just told him all of those stories for no reason. Hi, Steph. Well, not no reason. She told him all those stories because she was mad at him that he wasn't taking her side and defending her.
The head that you talked to Al about.
So Albert was like trying to get me to say whatever, because I'm sure you guys are having him do that, and I knew that's what he was doing. So Albert was trying to get me to say that, like talk to him about, like wounds or whatever. So I threw out some stories to Albert because he was making me so upset, just like everyone not understanding that there's an intervention portion here. And there's someone intervening.
What I noticed Letecia likes to do, and I'm curious actually if this isn't like, I talk with my hands all the time. But I'm Italian. I'm a very loud person. I always talk very animated. But what Leticia's doing consistently in this interview is she is using her hands to really dictate and try to control where the conversation goes. And she's trying to do it to like make her point come across better. And I wonder if that's for her, does it make her feel like she's more in control? Which I guess would be natural, because we all kind of do that when we're really trying to establish, like, listen, I'm laying down the law type of thing, But she does it a lot with her hands.
There's an intervention portion here. And there's someone intervening in this. And that's where people didn't understand or want to say anything. So I just started rambling stuff to Albert. And I even said to you guys, hey, I know you're listening. And it was just to be whatever.
But do you know what that sounds like, though, to a dad who's missing his kid? And then you say, and the previous head wound happened to where it was blood running down his face and that sort of thing. And it's, had to bandage it up. And,
well, I don't remember saying anything about bandaging up.
I think you said Quincy Brown tried to bandage it up.
Oh, because he was making me mad about something. Yeah. I was about to say, I don't remember me saying I did that. But.
So the way she itches, she's rocking, self-soothing. But the way she itches and literally goes like this with her hand. Oh, yeah. She's trying to physically maneuver his, like, the thoughts and the words he's saying. Like, she's trying to physically throw out, no, toss that to the side. I just said that for whatever reason. It's so bizarre. Hi, Becky. Oh, Chicken Shite. Chicken Shite, you're so sweet. Chicken Shite just gifted 5 dang memberships. Please thank Chicken Shite in the chat if you just received one. Thank you so much. Yeah, the way she just says, yeah, he was making me mad. Okay, yeah. And then she's just like, no, be gone with that one. Even if we believe Letecia, what you're saying is horrific.
Oh, because he was making me mad about something. Yeah. I was about to say, I don't remember me saying I did that. But.
So he did suffer a head wound, though.
Head wound?
Yes. Okay. Head or neck.
Okay.
And that is what caused the blood there. And so even if you choose not to tell us where Gannon is today because you're too nervous or whatever else, we would like to know where that was on him. So if we find him on our own, if you've given me the clues to go find him, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Self-soothing. Where was that? She's cradling her tongue.
Gannon is alive.
He's alive, fine. But where was that wound? Was it his neck?
Look at her shaking her head.
I don't really think about it.
First of all, One, observe the insane smile she gets when she says Gannon is alive. It's so interesting how it can become very hard for us to lie. You know, humans are liars, like, but at the same time, our body doesn't want us to. And her even saying the words, a huge smile comes out because it's not true. She knows it's not true. And then she starts to laugh and shake her head left and right. So Gannon is alive with the biggest smile on her face, the biggest duper's delight you could see, and then shaking her head left to the right, saying, no, he is not. She's directly responding to the words she's saying. Gannon is 100% alive. It's so interesting how we do that.
Fine, but where was that wound? Where was that wound?
Gannon is alive.
He's alive, fine, but where was that wound? Was it his neck or his head?
I don't know anything about a neck or head.
Well, you had to clean up the wall. You went ahead.
That is not even from what you're talking about there. Had nothing to do with anything from Saturday, Sunday, and whatever. That had nothing to do with any of it.
How could it not?
It did not.
There was a lot of blood.
It did not.
You're going to have to explain that.
Sir, it did not.
Well, just tell me how.
It did not. I promise you.
But you're not going to tell me how. So where we can help you.
You're not going to help me, though.
How could I not help you? How are you going to get up, Letecia, on the stand?
Did Letecia think? Did she really think she could just say, I promise you it's not. I'm not going to tell you who did it or what happened to him, but listen, I pinky promise it wasn't me. And they were just going to be like, all right, well, if you pinky promise, swear, cross your heart, hope to die, sickle needle in your eye, then fine. Turn around, let me take the handcuffs off, and you could walk out. And I think that's what's so fascinating is that she didn't even try. Like, it's not even, oh, I went with this defense and I stuck with it and I went down. I'm dying on that, what is it, anthill or whatever the saying is. No, she just like didn't even try. And she's like, I expect them to take my word for it without giving them shit. Thank you, Dog Mom. Congratulations to the recipient. Thank you. Thank you.
And after telling all these stories, which we're going to ask you about, and then say, I can explain all that, and it's some party that I never told law enforcement to go chase. If Gannon is alive, we have an 11-year-old kid somewhere being held against his will, and you're not telling us. You might as well have done this yourself. That's why I'm saying.
Let me look it out right here.
So Letecia's next move is let me grab this pen and let me write down some bullshit. Because maybe if I'm not saying it versus if I write it down, it'll somehow be more believable. Hi, Real John Doe. This is so interesting to me because right here, her brain is like calculating, and this is the best thing she comes to mind with. Thank you. Aw, Starlight Angel just gifted 5 memberships. Congratulations. We got so many new members. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome. What do you mean? We do know about her parents and they're still around, and there hasn't been really anything substantial that I could tell you that would account for why she's the way she is. Oops, I wrote down she's just buying time. She doesn't even know what she's writing when she's writing it.
I'm going to fill it out. I'll just put it there.
Thank you, Megan, for being a member for 6 months.
Okay.
Double cross.
What about the blood in the back of the Tiguan?
Tiguan?
Mm-hmm.
The only blood would have been in the back of Tiguan when we opened the car up. In the car, we were sitting there to do his foot. There's nothing to do with this.
There's too much to be
no,
told.
No. No, sir. That is absolutely not true. That was where we were sitting on the back of the car when we were unloading stuff. We were sitting on the back of the car. There is no, no, sir.
Look at her scratching her face.
There's plenty in the garage, though.
But there was nothing in the garage. There was plenty of times that everybody worked in the garage. Had nothing to do with.
Not everybody. Gannon's not working in the garage and bleeding all over the place.
There was nothing about bleeding all over the place in the garage that had to do with anything. I'm telling you.
Here we go. I promise you. She's scratching her face. She's overly, but she always goes back to her cradle of the stomach and she's rocking. Letecia didn't realize, because even at one point she tried to account for that blood being her blood in the bedroom. She didn't realize they're able to determine whose blood it is. Whose blood it is. And thank you so much, Megan. Yeah, I'm telling you, sir. What are you saying? What are you saying? Hey, Natasha.
What you're asking me is completely, totally different than anything has to do.
Do you know what this looks like? Say you're telling me the truth. Again, please don't care what I think. Say you're telling me the truth right now. That Saturday had nothing to do with him disappearing and being gone for over a month. Do you know what that looks like for you?
It looks like I'm in the middle of a situation that I need help getting out of.
But you're not willing to tell me how to help you. So now you're saying that Gannon had a really bad head wound on Saturday.
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
The head thing was Saturday, right. And amount of blood there?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what you're talking about.
That indicates a little bit of what she wrote. We can't see what she wrote. But he just said, so now you're saying the head thing was on Saturday. But listen to Letecia. He takes what you write. He takes what Letecia writes. And then if he even dares to refer to it, okay, so he had his head injury on Saturday. She gets mad. It's like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. She doesn't want to stick to one thing because she gets nervous and she doesn't know what direction. That's why she never sticks to anything.
Amount of blood there?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what you're talking about completely different than what you're saying.
Correct. Yeah, but this doesn't look any better for you because now you haven't told Al that he has a head wound. You haven't called the hospital.
It wasn't like that. It was not.
Well, then you have to tell me. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but
it's not what it was like, sir. Had nothing to do with me. It's not what it was like, sir. Okay.
So did someone else injure him on Saturday? That's an easy question. You don't even have to tell me a name. Did someone else injure him on Saturday?
I wanted to meet friends because I didn't have friends. Okay. So I wanted to meet friends.
And here we go again with this. Okay. She's as if this gives you more credibility. I wanted to meet friends because I didn't have friends. Poor Tisha. Poor Tisha. Okay, we're following. You wanted to meet friends.
Because I didn't have friends. Okay. So I wanted to meet friends. Okay. Albert ever tell you about any of these apps he had me to go with? Mm-hmm. See, that's where this is going to be whatever, because you're not going to take my version and my side of it.
But Letecia, let me stop you. If you help us, I will take whatever version you tell me, and I will actually prove it. That's all I do. Is I don't chase. I am wrong most of the time.
You have a way to pull up apps.
Yeah.
You have a way to pull up stuff on apps. Do you have that?
Yeah.
You can do that while you're here. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm saying you said you have this.
Yes. We have ways to pull up apps.
Okay.
What app?
What app? You see? Did you see she? Did you see she chuckled? Yeah. We could pull the fucking app up while you're right here. What app? And she laughs because she's screwed. She laughs because she does not have an app to tell him. So she fills up the time and the air with, you're never going to believe me. If I told you you're not going to this, blah, 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 blah. But look at the way she just laughed. And she laughed because I don't know what app.
Ways to pull up apps.
Okay.
What app?
How do you have ways to pull apps?
We have technical people. I'm not a tech person, but we have plenty of tech people that are super smart to do it. If you tell me what to do, we can do that while we're talking, take a break, you can go to the restroom, whatever else. We can solve this thing right now.
Why come I just can't talk to you without a bunch of people watching me?
Then we can talk right now.
Yeah, but come on, there's people here.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? You tell me what you want to do, and I will have...
Letecia, I don't know how she thought she could do this, but she was trying to just buy time. Like, okay, you know how to do app shit. Yeah, okay, crap. Well, why can't I talk to you without people here? Okay, and then he manages to do it. That's how much they wanted to Gannon, mad respect. They abide by that. And it's just the next obstacle to the next obstacle to buy more time, to buy more time, to buy more time. How did she think she was in control?
I want to talk to you to tell you about leading up to anything. I want to talk to you because I want you to find Gannon, and I believe in all my heart you will help me. Not lie to me.
I will help you.
Not try to say, oh, you're telling the story and throw me somewhere. Okay.
So is he alive?
I understand. Let me finish this and I'll answer your question. I understand what you're saying about federal versus local.
Excuse me. This bitch. Let me finish what I'm saying and then I'll answer your question. What was his question? Is he alive or dead? But she is just pushing off the inevitable. Let me finish let me finish and then I'll answer you. But let me go on for 5 minutes about nonsense because I can't give you that answer. Oh, the entitlement.
Finish this and I'll answer your question. I understand what you're saying about federal versus local, whatever. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to want to talk to you is that I don't want anything said before held against me if I provide you with 100% the truth to help you.
That'll work. This is the first time we're talking, and it's for a reason. You haven't talked to the feds yet. Right.
So if I can I don't want to be sitting here with all these people watching because I want you to listen at exactly what happened and go from there. Okay?
Okay.
And that's not I know you're trained to do this and interrogate people and all this. I want nothing more than for Gannon to be okay. That's all I want. I promise you. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I will take whatever resources, whatever help you want me to go do, even if it means take myself in the middle of somewhere where someone wants me to go to get him, to make sure he's okay. I would do it. Because I love Gannon. And I love my family. And I love the ground that everybody walks on. Albert, Harley, Lena, Gannon. That is my family. Okay?
So,
I know in the end, you might think you got whatever by this and forensics and whatever. And I'm not arguing any of that. Very smart to know that you're a smart man. You're not stupid. But I need the help, the resources to not be attacked anymore. To know that something on the stupid app was a silly mistake. Okay?
So you brought someone in.
So I'm not, I just said I would talk to you.
I know, I get it. So I'm representing law enforcement from Colorado.
I understand.
Okay. And if you tell me something, even though, you know, we started a recording now and whatever else, and if you say we won't talk unless we turn off the recording, that can happen, but I'm going to pull in all those resources.
No, I want you to pull in resources. I'm not denying you to say pull in the resources. I'm looking at you from mother to a father. I have been scared because I don't know what's going to happen. Not with because I did something. I wouldn't have told you that there was people, random people, intervention, or all these things if there wouldn't have been. Okay? I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Could have easily just been like, hey, if there was truly what you guys had thought about, I don't think you intentionally done it, there was this accident, common sense, well enough to know to pick up the phone and say an accident happened. I'm not stupid, okay? Might be freaking out because I don't know how to get this help, but I'm not stupid, okay? And that's looking you dead in the eye to tell you, I did not hurt Gannon at all, okay? Swear to you. So if you're willing to give me the opportunity to talk to you, I don't want to be like watched by people. I don't want to be, whatever.
This is a separate recorder. This is mine.
Right. And so does the Myrtle Beach House.
Yeah, they do.
Right. Right. But I need this.
You'll get the help.
Okay.
All we're focusing on is finding the kid.
Okay, and that's what I want. I don't want to look at you look at me like I'm just this bad person who doesn't want to find our child. That's not it. I just don't. When it came at me as an attack, okay, because that's what originally happened, okay, and I get it. They have to do their job because guess what? They're probably parents too, right? So they have to do their job, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's just filling up the air.
Okay, you can ask me about any of these, whatever. I'm sure it was something I saw somewhere, and I don't never look up anything about some stepchild. I've looked up how I haven't got help, and how I wanted help, and how I wanted to be the person that they always were. Well, I didn't even want them to go home. I didn't even want them to have to go to their mother at all, because I had to see the pain and agony Albert went through, worry. So you're going to take my character based upon
No.
whatever.
That's just part. Listen, when a kid goes missing, we don't only
look at her. Look at her. She is very. I haven't had anything to say because I'm just in disbelief, guys. She will go. Like she's scared to stop. But you know where else we see that? On the calls that we're listening to. She fills it, right? She fills the air to where you do not have the opportunity, because that's when she feels like she's in control. When she's talking, she feels like she's in control when really she's digging herself in the hole. But she is, when she stops talking, look at the way she's cradling herself. She is fully, her arms are looped and her legs are crossed, and she is cradling herself. She is uncomfortable. It's a lot, Harlot.
Person, we look at the entire neighborhood, we go through people's closets, we go, everybody's lives is turned upside down.
And I'll tell you right now, if any of this is since then, of course I've looked at what people said. If people said something about the FBI, I Googled FBI.
Again, you worry too much about what we think. If you will get us there, we can protect you.
Okay, so then I talk to you. And I don't talk to Myrtle Beach Police Department and all these other people. I talk to you and I explain to you. Okay, because you already saying you are charging me with something.
It's already been charged.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You're already saying that. Okay. So how do I know that when I give you this here information?
But that's what this recording does. It protects you because I've
Listen to her fucking try to ensure she will walk out when she hands them a bullshit story. She thought she was smart enough to outdo the FB fucking I. Oh, congratulations, Lulu. She wanted and really believed, and we're officially halfway, guys. We're at the official halfway mark. She thought, yeah, I'll take one immunity, please. She genuinely thought she could get something signed where she would really not be charged and she can hand over a bullshit story that would never lead to Gannon or anywhere. Yep, Neat Noodle, 100%.
I've already told you, we will do this. Well, we used to not record things, but we do now. And the only people sitting in there is the district attorney and some of the El Paso people. Myrtle Beach has nothing to do with this. They helped us find you.
Right.
So they have to be involved in this.
I understand it. Nothing is Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach is not in on this.
Okay, well,
if someone else took Gannon, we can find him.
Here, and I don't like that. I want to be able to have emotional, raw conversation.
Oh my God.
Let's do it now.
I can't.
I mean, we can't go anywhere. Where do you want to go?
Because I know people are sitting there.
Nobody's sitting there.
Okay, someone's watching from there.
They are in the other room. It's the district attorney. Do you want me to tell them they can't watch?
No, I want to talk to someone in a raw, real conversation so you can see truly in my heart the situation. That's what I want.
That's what this is.
No, it's not, sir.
But how can I make
Who is it? The district attorney from Colorado?
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Yes, he what?
I can ask him to leave the room.
No, it's not about leaving the room. It's about I'm asking for, instead of going through all, this, whatever, sitting here wasting our time or whatever, I'm asking just to talk to you because I'm taking your word.
She doesn't know what she's asking for. Yeah, I want to escape, sir, and you're cramping my style. She doesn't know what she's asking for, and poor Grusing is like, so the one person who's watching, would you like me to have her not watch? No, that's not going to do it. We have to be at the beach. It has to be me and you at the beach, on the sand, raw to raw, heart to heart. We can't do it in this room. She doesn't even know what the fuck she's saying. She just needs to figure out an excuse to not give an answer. Welcome, Nicola. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We're happy to have you part of the chat. Stall. That's all it is. That's all it is.
That you're going to help me and you're going to provide the resources from wherever you said you have them.
Before I do that, let me ask you some questions, okay? Because this is our investigation.
Right.
You're taking all these trips up to Palmer Lake. Multiple trips.
Mm-hmm.
Different cars.
Mm-hmm.
Renting a car.
Okay.
How are you not involved in this?
First off, I didn't ever get the drive to rental car anywhere because immediately once we, let me go ahead and correct on this now. Once we got the rental car or whatever, the National Guard was there. Everybody was in the house. We went in Albert's truck the whole entire day going to Come and Go and all these places. So I never drove the rental car anywhere. And it's already been corrected from budget about the rental car situation. I had to get that corrected yesterday. I never even drove it anywhere because I didn't get to. So whatever GPS you get from the rental car, it never was driven by me anywhere but literally up the street, back. I didn't hardly drive it anywhere. So there was no rental car driven to any kind of places at all. The only time I went anywhere in the rental car might have been maybe 40, 50 miles. I don't know, no more than 100 miles, counting there and back. And that was just driving it through the day because I went back to get my car.
But you're the only one at the PetSmart.
For what?
We can see the video there.
Not in a rental car.
No, I'm not saying rental car. I'm just sorry. I'm just working through this to say if someone else is involved.
Okay.
It's only you there.
What the PetSmart has nothing to do with this.
This is Monday, though.
Yeah, but the PetSmart has nothing to do with this at all.
With Gannon's disappearance.
And that's where the whole entire thing is that's where I just said, I know I am not going to be able to trust you. Because you just immediately went to the PetSmart. Well,
I went from the rental car, said, so what? But I'm trying, the reason why my mind is going there, it's going to where do we have video? Mm-hmm. What did we miss? Mm-hmm. If there's someone else involved.
And did you not see me completely freaking out, like, at the PetSmart? Did you not see that?
No.
Did you not see me walking back and forth at the PetSmart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
Yeah, but we can't interpret your behavior as what if Gannon's hurt in the back of the truck? What if Gannon talks to someone? We don't know why you're freaking out.
If Gannon was hurt in the back of the truck, you already have the truck too.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's not even remotely even the case at all. It's not even remotely the case.
But we don't know because there's no Gannon to tell us. Does that make sense?
Trust me, I want Gannon to be able to tell you. Because I know he would walk right in that room and tell you that I would never hurt him and did not. Guaranteed. Doesn't mean I've always been the perfect step-parent. Doesn't mean I haven't fussed with people. Doesn't mean I haven't been stressed or whatever because I never wanted them to leave and go to this place with their mom. That's a fact. Complete fact. I begged and begged and begged for them to stay. So until you realize that as my character, you're not going to realize to be able to help me.
But I've already said, from what I can tell, you don't have any violence in your background.
I'm not violent. I don't hurt people.
Yeah. So
don't
I'm willing.
Just notice that, because I know that she's been consistently with the leg cross the entire time, flipping back and forth. She's been adjusting compared to how often Grusing has adjusted himself, which, of course, everybody adjusts every once in a while. But she just bouncing forth with her leg. But now she is almost slumped to the left. Like she is very much facing the left versus more straight on like she was initially. Hi, Shauna. I know, I hate her.
In your background.
I'm not violent. I don't hurt people.
Yeah. So I'm willing to chase. You have a lot of resources right here.
But you just sit and told me though that the Petco, we've already seen the video, there's no one out there.
But we don't, again.
But you saw the inside of the videos for Petco.
Right, and we saw the parking lot.
Okay.
But we can't see inside the truck very well.
Okay. Sorry.
Look at her rocking.
You're 100% saying you can't see inside the truck very well, okay? But you didn't see anything else at Petco or whatever.
That's
right?
not me.
Okay.
So when I say we,
so this is what Letecia was queen of doing. She would give nothing. She would tell you nothing. Yet she would also take your words and make it seem like she's opening the door for something the way she just did. Like, so you're telling me you saw me at the PetSmart and you didn't see me freaking out, which would imply something happened at the PetSmart. Yet if he said, so something happened at the PetSmart, she'd be like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And so he'd be like, all right, well, we didn't, we saw the footage from outside PetSmart. We couldn't see the vehicle too clearly, and she'll be like, so you just said you couldn't see inside the vehicle, right? You couldn't see who was in that vehicle. And so Grusing will say something like, so are you saying that there was someone else in the vehicle with you? And she'll be like, I never said that. No, I never said that. And it's like, my God, what the fuck are you saying? What are you saying? She doesn't know. And I can't imagine, like, only a psychopath would have been able to keep their cool in this moment, because she had no plan, guys. She never had a plan. She just goes and she just impulsively makes the decisions in the moment.
Well,
my job is not to look at all the video.
Okay.
We have everything in a case like this. I told you a bunch of leads come in, etc. And we have someone review Petco and tell us we saw nothing, or we saw this, or we saw that. I don't have time to do all that stuff.
Right.
So when I say me or we, I didn't look at the Petco video myself.
Okay. But it became a point of contention when it's completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant.
Yeah, but so you're testing my experience.
No, I'm not testing your experience. Absolutely not. I'm actually asking for your help, not testing your experience.
No. And I'm failing your test.
So I know.
Because everything that I've looked at in this case, when you see the blood spatter on the wall, you see a big pool in the corner.
Okay.
You see your shoes that we've collected with Gannon's blood on the bottom of them.
Okay.
And then you point to Eduardo,
Stop it,
who doesn't exist, or maybe he did exist, and we don't have a last name. Then you point to Quincy Brown,
That's funny.
and then you say Uncle Matt, these names and stuff, and it's like, I've seen it before, and that was Harold.
Look at that smile.
But I'm not Harold.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying this is my experience.
Right. I got you.
I'm not saying you are, but it didn't go well for him because his attorney got up. He's one of the best attorneys in Colorado. He cost $600,000. Craig Truman, and he started
paid $600,000. Okay.
With his dead wife's money. And Craig got up and said, "Harold is not a murderer, but he is a liar."
Right.
And that's what I was worried about when I first got the case, because they asked me to come in and work that case because I had worked other cases like it. And Harold's just sitting there all confident and whatever else. Please don't say this is you. I'm just saying this is my experience, because Harold told all these different stories. But when you start out with your defense attorney saying, my client is a liar, he's just making up crap. That's to the victim's family on how Tony died. That's to his friends at church. And all of them got up and testified. These are the different ways Tony died.
Again, it's not good.
But he might be today. You don't know that if someone is willing, if this, whether it's related or not, the head thing, if someone's willing to hold a kid for 30 days, how are they not willing to kill him?
Can I ask you something, or can I say something?
Yes.
Even if the scenario would have been me just going to go.
She is self-soothing. She is cradling her tummy. She is now trying to say, Gannon is not dead. Again, how would you know that? This is where she didn't think any of this through. How would you even know that, even if your scenario is true? But she's very uncomfortable. She's cradling, rocking while she's, can I tell you something? Okay, go ahead. Tell us, Tisha.
If the scenario would have been me just going to go talk to the lady here and telling them, hey, this is what happened. This is who did it. I know that he was hurt by someone. You know what the next question you're going to say to me? Who was this person? And all I'd say to you was, well, can you help me figure it out from this app? Or can you help me figure it out from this? And you know what you'd say to me? Oh, yeah, sure. Right? That's exactly what you would say to me.
No.
So unless I can take you directly to where Gannon is, safe and sound, that is the only way that you're going to be like, oh, okay, wait, she was telling the truth about something.
So this person is telling you that he's safe.
So that's the only thing you would have been like. I've even asked y'all, or I say y'all again, I mean, fast.
I get it.
Hey, please help. Why isn't there reward? Please, please, please. You're not understanding. Like, I have begged that completely. Like, day in and day out. Begged it to let me.
I still don't understand, Letecia. The thing I don't understand is you're a good person.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a good person, why would you not trade your life for Ganon's?
I do. I want to trade my life for Ganon's. But what you have to also understand is not just my life. If it would be just me trade my life for Ganon, I would be totally okay with that.
Now you're talking about more than an individual.
No, I'm talking about talking about other people in the family. I'm talking about, involved in this. You're talking about more than one person, because there's no way one person is going to take out multiple people if they talk. I never said someone was like multiple people. I never said it was anything.
But how can you be so afraid of one person?
Because of any actions that could be taken to lead up to why you may know this person or why you might download that.
Is he law enforcement?
Okay.
Or something that has more power than you would think?
Sir, I want to help, but I need protection.
I told you, I will give you protection. And I'm saying this with attorneys listening to me say this. They'd be rushing in the room right now saying, you can't promise her that, but I can't.
Okay, well, who can? Who can promise that?
Do you want to talk with the district attorney?
Sure.
Okay, I'll bring her in. Do you need to go to the restroom?
Cocky motherfucker. Sure. We can promise you this, Letecia. You weird ass side part. We can promise you this, but that promise is not going to be met unless your end of the bargain is met. You cocky ass fucker. You think they're just going to take it on your words? She did. That's what makes Letecia fascinating. She thought just with her mouth alone, because she's gotten away with it her entire life. Her entire life.
I'm with the district attorney's office.
Just so you know, I looked behind there. This place is under construction. There's no one back. I can walk you back there if you want to look.
Oh, no, I believe you. I was just talking about all these people watching.
Yeah, and Martha's been watching.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah. So John said you wanted to talk to me?
About protection?
So I don't have any trust in anyone. And obviously, I know I've told him that I said things to Albert because I was mad and upset, whatever. But how do I know that I'm going to get help? Like, because I didn't hurt you, okay, at all. But I need the help to figure out how we're going to get to you.
Let me read you what she wrote.
Okay.
Or I'll just show it to you.
And I know it's Saturday. I probably should,
Look at her trying to get control.
Saturday, it had nothing to do with this. Check my phone for an app. This works fine. So
what she wrote is the head thing. And I'm sorry, I can't manage but to just not be in disbelief at how far she went, guys. The head thing happened Saturday, but it has nothing to do with any of this. Check for the apps yourself. So exactly what she was saying, she wrote down. It has nothing to do with any of this. It has nothing to do with any of this. The fact that she wrote that down, though, you guys, like, we heard her saying it a million times, but she fucking physically wrote it. The head thing happened Saturday, but it has nothing to do with any of this. Check the apps. Okay, Tisha. And watch when Grusing goes to show the district attorney the way the Letecia like leans over and she's going to look, probably because she doesn't even remember what exactly she wrote because she was in a lot of anxiety, right? An adrenaline rush. And she's just trying to desperately control this. That's literally what she wrote. Listen to Grusing. He's about to read it again. I jump back. He's reading to the district attorney what Letecia wrote. Letecia wrote, the head thing happened on Saturday. It has nothing to do with any of this. Check the app for yourself.
Show it to you.
And I wrote Saturday. I probably yeah.
The head thing was Saturday. It had nothing to do with this. Check my phone for an app. This will explain. So we do have your phone, and we have gone through, like, these are keystrokes.
Right. I'm talking about, like, it's a, like, when you download apps.
Did you have a different phone beside the one that was in your van? Did you have another phone? Like a second phone?
Yeah. No. It's the same phone.
The same phone?
Yeah. No.
She didn't know if she should answer yes or no. Look at her, like, in the moment. Oh, did I have a second phone? I guess at this point, she didn't decide that there would be a whole nother phone with a whole nother iCloud. It's probably this moment that Grusing put the idea in her mind to do that.
Phone.
Yeah. No. It's the same phone.
It's the same
yeah. No, not the same phone. You guys have the phone. That was just someone else's phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at this time, that
I'm saying that's the same. The 843 is the 655 number.
But you didn't have a second one that this app might be on.
No. I only had this phone.
So, and let me explain, Martha. My understanding of what Letecia's asking is, how does she know, since I've said, if there's a bad guy or guys out there that did this to Gannon, that she can tell us where these guys are, and she's concerned for not only her safety, but the safety of her family.
Right.
And how can
he asked me would I trade my life for Gannon, and I said yes, but I said it's also other people. Like, how do I know that everyone else is not going to be like, you know? And how do I know that you guys aren't just trying to be like, whatever, if I walk you through anything or can help you with anything, I don't want to be just thrown somewhere, like being like, okay, well, you didn't tell me this, and I want to be able to help you and work together because I'm sure you have kids or grandkids or whatever. I do. I don't want to sound like I'm cold-hearted, and I'm just tired of being like the person chased instead of being able to have someone to actually have compassion to help me.
Well, I was a little bit confused when I was watching it because John talked about how they're the FBI and they're the premier law enforcement agency that could protect you, could protect your entire family. And they, if Gannon's alive, they...
Okay.
I can't make you any promises.
Right.
Because obviously there's a lot of information that you have that we don't.
Okay.
So there aren't any promises. I can't come in here and promise you anything regarding the court case or the arrest warrant or your involvement in it.
Okay.
But I can tell you what the number one priority is.
Right.
And it's to find Gannon.
Right.
And so if you were talking to some small law enforcement agency and they said, sure, we'll protect you, I mean, I can see how you would be suspicious of that.
Well, you guys are the lead agency. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I mean, they're the most elite agency there is.
Oh, okay.
And so if there was a time...
What I also want you to acknowledge is the shift in Letecia with a female. And that's why I'm thankful that Grusing was on this case, because I think his personality was perfect for her. But she's not, she wasn't as confident and as manipulative with that female district attorney. She's much more submissive with her.
For you to feel like that you could protect
that recorder, we can.
Because I know you have yours. That's what I'm saying.
As a backup.
So if you want the recording turned off, you need to tell us really explicitly that that's your choice. Because the recording have been put into law so that there's not a debate where he says you said one thing and you said I didn't, right? So it's to protect the person being interviewed.
Right.
But if it's something that you...
It's not that I'm trying to, I just don't, it's just I wanted to have like a conversation with him, just him, and try to explain to him in complete detail about everything, because I do want...
She, once again, mind-blowing, but she thought she can control if it wasn't recorded. That she could somehow convince one versus all who are watching and it being recorded. She did not want to be held accountable for her words and whatever narrative she went with. But she thought if she could get Grusing alone off of recorder, away from people, that he would have the ability to let her walk free.
I want the help to the next level to find out where he is. I really do. You guys have looked, you went to GPSs and all this, but you haven't found Gannon because you're coming after me. And I understand you're going to say, well, this is what we have to go on, and I respect that totally. But it was the first time I ever get to sit down with people to actually to say, okay, this is what happened. This is what I know. Please help me.
Hey, Chris.
Because then I feel like if I don't, because see, I easily would be like, hey, just give me an attorney and call it a day. I really want. So do you think I want to waste time if I got resources when that's all I've asked for? I don't want to waste time.
And if there's a chance it can be saved, everybody wants that information. But the only people who can save them are the FBI. I don't want you to think that this is being broadcast to the whole world.
Right.
You know, there's another DA with me. There's no Papa County person.
Hey, Lori.
But they're the ones. What the reason that we do that also is, I might miss something, and I probably do, and so then I can go talk to them and say, "What am I missing?" And then also it protects you, because if I make a promise that I can't deliver on with the FBI, then Martha gets to hear it, and then she would knock on the door.
But as soon as I give you information, what's going to happen is someone's going to say, well, you were involved with this person. You were cheating with this person. You were doing this. I'm just giving you scenarios.
But that's a lot better situation than you're in right now.
But what if I wasn't? That's my thing. And that's where the burden of proof, I can't depend my life on the burden of proof to be involved with just someone thinking that I'm just a bad person. I did not hurt you.
Oh my God.
Okay.
There aren't any promises I can make you about you. I can tell you that we're looking for the truth. And it seemed to me from listening to it that you had information, but I can't make you any promises.
But what I'm saying is, if you're saying to me, I have information, you're going to come and say, well, you should have given this information when I did nothing but attack.
But,
that's what I'm saying.
You
see what I'm saying?
You can't armchair quarterback yourself, though. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't look into the future and say, well, we're going to say this because you said this. If what Martha and I are saying are true, and that our only focus is Gannon, we don't care who leads us there, we just need Gannon. Then you are protecting yourself by telling us this. If you never give us this information, then you don't protect yourself. And then we have one person to prosecute for Gannon.
Well, and our focus is who took him and who hurt him, not with when people came forward with information.
How do I know that?
Oh my
God. Because that's my biggest thing. I know you're saying that, but like whatever I can do to help, I can help you. But I'm saying, how do I know that if, let's just say it's whatever, I tell you a specific person, okay? Let's just say that, okay? Then my thing is, well, your thing is going to be like, well, you held this information for me and I'm having to utilize my resources, okay, and do all those things, not understanding that maybe sometimes there are people who are afraid of any other things going on.
Every day in my work, there are people who report things later than some people think they should. Every day. And we try to focus on the violent crime, and we certainly try to focus on the kids. I know that you want assurances, and you want me to be able to say, I will or won't do this, and I can't make you promises because I'm in the dark, right? It would be foolish for me to make you promises, but I have people who late report sex assault all the time. We have people who come forward years later. Our interest is in the truth about the crime. This is really all conversation that I have. And I know that you wanted to have a frank conversation with them that you could really tell them. So unless you need me, I'm going to step out.
Okay, but you're still going back in the room.
Would you like us to turn it off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we'll turn it off.
How do I know that? It's not that I want you to know anything. I want to be able to really talk to him and just know that I can sincerely see in your heart you're going to help me.
I can bring you back there and you can see us turn it off. But the truth is, I could just turn it back on again.
I know.
I mean, there's a point where no one can verify everything you want.
Well, plus, that's her life. She has to tell the truth, just like I do you when you don't want her to listen to you. You kind of have to look at logic here.
Okay.
I don't think Martha would throw away.
I don't want you to know. I want you to have all the information.
Yes.
That's it.
So are you okay with the recording continuing? We just won't be monitoring.
No, I didn't. He said that we
You wanted to turn off?
He said I could just talk to him.
Okay. So we're just going to turn off the recording, and that's your choice. That's what you want, right?
Yes.
And so he controls the turning it off from here, or are they?
No, you'll have to ask.
Okay, I'll have to
find someone.
And so it's just going to get turned off.
Okay.
And then once it's done, then I'll come back out and we'll turn it
Hey,
back
Margie.
And it'll be a conversation between the two of you, and it'll be like the way law enforcement.
No.
All right. Anything else for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get him. Turn it off.
I know that they're not. So.
I'll go up. Do you want me to do that?
No, it's fine. I just want to know. It's not that I don't want them to know anything. I just don't want it being I know that people are leaking information.
That's not
Are leaking
that doesn't do
information.
us any good. From El Paso?
She's okay. This bitch says it's not like I don't want them to know the information, because I'm a stepmom who desperately wants Gannon to be found, and I'm adamant he's alive out there. So obviously, my first concern is to make sure that he is found. But it's not like I don't want them the information, but I don't want them to hear anything I'm saying, and I know information's being leaked, so. Look at her trying to, all she does is buys time, and stalls and stalls and stalls.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff's office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I've had this hard time with, trusting anybody. I actually was trying to reach out to the Barbara lady. Barbara?
Amber?
No, Barbara.
Who's Barbara?
She was another
Barbara!
lady. I was actually going to talk to you today.
Yes.
Okay. So apparently this recording runs 24/7, so it can't be turned off.
Okay.
But the other FBI agents, also they have a protocol where there has to be another person for security. Those are the choices we have. So we can move you to another room that's not being recorded if that's something that you want.
Okay.
But another FBI agent
You
would
have
be
to
in
have
there.
another agent in the room.
Okay, is it someone you know?
You don't know.
Unless they're from a different office, and even then I've met most of the ones from Myrtle Beach.
Okay. That'll work.
So they'll go set up a room someplace else. And then we'll do it. It'll be the two FBI agents and you, and the recording speech or nothing. Okay? Okay. Did she need to stuff
No.
It's pretty incredible.
It's not that I don't want them to have information. I want to be able to really get your help, and you tell me that what steps can we take, or what.
It's not that I don't want them to have this information, but again, I really just want you to be able to help me and set me up with the resources. And somehow, if we are in another room without it being recorded, you can supply me with these resources that you aren't able to with this recording. Make it make sense. This is like yesterday when she says, "I really want to help you, sir, but We're in a room. Yeah? Yeah, we are in a room. I don't know how a room prevents us from being able to talk, but apparently it does in Tisha logic.
What steps can you take, I guess, because you said you have an ability to do resources or whatever?
We find people all over the world. I'm finding a guy right now who changed his identity and went to Russia.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, just so you know, if you look on the paper, I did look that up. Only because I was just wondering, like, if you could, because I wanted to know, like, if someone was whatever, how could you tell really quickly,
so
to find them out?
Before we do all this stuff, I've never seen, and not to say it hasn't happened, someone take a kid and not ask for ransom, and the kid be okay.
No, I did. I sent into the FBI those messages that you guys had on my phone. Yes.
Yes.
Did you get those?
I think you sent it to the FBI.
Whatever that email address is, I think it's that Barbara or something. I don't tell you what the name is. I think it's Barbara. So like
Barbara from the FBI.
Yeah, she has her 720 number, and I feel like her name is Barbara. And my friend Amy has been talking to her a lot.
Are you sure she's from the FBI? Our numbers are all 303.
No, this is a 720 number.
She's not FBI. Her name's Barbara.
Wow, I can tell you the number. It's in the other phone, but yeah, it's Barbara or something, and 720 is the first three digits.
Yeah, well, she's not working this case, because I would know. I'm the lead FBI agent with
right.
this.
Yeah, no,
How did you get in touch with Barbara?
My friend Amy, she called my friend Amy and was like asking questions, because I guess originally people wanted to know if like Gannon came like with me or something. And my friend Amy gave me the information, which was I think it was a 720 number. And anything I found, like the Snapchat, I sent over to this lady, like to whatever this number was, I sent to it.
The Snapchat. Please remember, remember the lives I did where I showed you all of the Facebook posts? That's actually really interesting. That's actually really interesting because the rewind episodes where I showed you guys all of the Facebook posts from the month prior to Letecia being arrested, it was basically February. And that fake account that Amy Bolton said that she was going to pull out on one of these calls, which means that Amy Bolton had access to it. That account was posting that there was a Snapchat of Gannon. Do you guys remember that post? And I said this was a rumor. There was never any Snapchat of Gannon. But it's interesting that the account Amy Bolton had access to, even after Letecia's arrest, and she was using, is the same account that was posting in the Facebook groups about a Snapchat of Gannon. And Letecia is here saying Amy Bolton was the one sending things to Barb. Since the Snapchat doesn't exist, what did Amy Bolton actually send to Barb? Makes you wonder.
It never made it to us.
So there's no one named Barbara?
Well, no, we have a Barbara. There's Barbara Kelleher, but she's not. She doesn't even work these sort of firms.
Yeah, no, this is the Barbara. This is 720 number, and if I had the other phone, I can tell you exactly what the number was.
When did you send this to her?
This would have been like, okay, so then this happened 3 days ago, and then it happened February 5th, I think. So what happened was I got all the messages when I logged back in from my iCloud. I got all the messages that were like just sitting there. And so I took that message and I forwarded it to, like, I sent it to people and I sent it to Albert. And I said, hey, I said, can you get someone to like look into this? I said, it could be just people, sending random messages, or it could be creepers, like people, whatever, being stupid, or it could be just in general, the actual person. And so no one ever said anything to me about it. Then I get the Snapchat. Okay, so that.
Let me interrupt you for a second. Letecia, there's an 11-year-old kid. Again, we have to go back there. 11-year-old kid, injuries in the house. Now we know that. Taken. And you don't come to law enforcement for 30
This was a law enforcement person.
No, there's no Barbara.
This was
how did you get him from, except through your friend? You had Amber from the FBI.
Right, but she said that she worked with the FBI and she was going to send information. She said that she worked with Amber. I swear to you, if you call Amy, you can get the number from her to find out what Barbara, who the Barbara lady was. And she was actually emailing her today.
But if you told them back then and you trusted them with that information,
this is why
why are you not today?
Because no one has helped. I tried since February 5th. The 5th. Today's March. That's why you see I had such a problem with trust. Is because
I was there when you were talking to Amber, though. That was your chance.
To Amber.
Yeah, that's the legit FBI.
So then, is that what happened when I was talking to Amber? I got a message back from the attorney who said not to talk to you guys because you guys, A, weren't lead agency or something like that, and then B, not to say anything else unless he was present. That was when I was trying to talk to Amber.
But why wasn't that with Barbara then?
Because I gave it to my friend Amy, who had this relationship with Barbara, like trying to check on her.
But see, again, this sounds like a lot of your calls to where you're pointing fingers in different directions, but never giving specific things.
Right, I did.
Right now, I mean, if Gannon is somewhere and you can get us there, and he sent proof of life or a picture of Gannon or whatever else, it makes no sense for some man to have an 11-year-old child.
It wasn't that. It was because we thought it was someone playing games. And if someone was playing games, we were trying to say that person would have been like obstructing or whatever. That was the whole point. Not somebody had him and they were like, here, come get.
Oh, now it's not legit.
That we thought it was someone, hey, here's someone playing games. Could you find out who this person is?
Yeah, but do you see where that's going? And all your talks with Al. Those are distractions. Those take up time.
Yeah.
And Gannon's over here. Somewhere.
Yeah.
And you were misleading law enforcement.
No, I didn't mislead them.
No. Well, you're misleading anybody who would report to us.
Yeah,
no, I didn't mislead any of them. Who did I mislead?
With all these other stories.
Tell us to Albert. I wasn't misleading law
enforcement. But you knew we were in the room.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have said stuff like that if I was trying to mislead. I was just being whatever to Albert because he was making me upset.
Being whatever.
The dad of a kid is not finding his son.
Because I'm also the stepmother who helped him get the kids, and he wouldn't have gotten them without me. So yes, he wouldn't have.
Right there is the truth in it all. Letecia felt entitled to those kids, right, Harlot? Wow. She felt entitled to those kids. She has zero empathy. I'm sorry. She has I don't even know what the words would be. All she has is anger. And she doesn't think that if Al did not appreciate her, then he doesn't get his kids, because she sees herself as the critical reason of why he got them to begin with. We hear all the time about the guardian ad litem, and it was because of her and all the money they spent on court. So if he didn't appreciate her and value her, you don't get your son.
The kids, and he wouldn't have gotten them without me. So yes, he wouldn't have.
You're willing to do that to Al, though.
No, I already had apologized to him and said that was awful to say that to him out of anger. I had already done that.
But before we kick this thing in motion about all this protection and whatever, Why haven't you said one thing, though, today? How in the world would he suffer a head wound on Saturday that required...
I didn't say it was a head wound that required anything. I said the head thing you're talking about when I said something to Albert. I said the head thing you're talking about. That's what I said.
So the bike accident thing?
You already tried the bike accident.
See?
No, the head thing talking
See,
about...
my goodness, this is what I mean by she says something and then you go with it and then she gets mad and says, I didn't say that. He was saying the amount of blood, it would come from the head or the neck. And then so she ended up in the moment, all right, there's too much pressure, I'm going to write it. The head thing happened on Saturday. It had nothing to do with anything. Look into the apps. So now he's saying, all right, well, you admitted that, like the head thing happened, he had a head wound. Now she's like, I never said it was a head wound. No, I never said it. No. What other scenario is it? There's no other scenario. Like, what is happening?
Albert.
Never mind. I'll just wait until you are ready to talk to me from beginning to the end, because I already said that is completely irrelevant to anything of what you're talking about. Completely irrelevant. I told Albert something else that was just stories, just to be whatever to him. And it was wrong, and I already had apologized
So
to
the
Albert.
things that you told Albert were that he was feeling these burns. Was that happening?
I'm not going to answer any more questions because you're asking me about things telling Albert out of being upset. There was nothing happening that I was telling Albert. Nothing. I was literally just saying that to Albert because I was upset for him not standing by me and was figuring this out. This had nothing to do with me wanting to purposefully do whatever or tell you guys anything. That was not what it was.
But,
it was me being upset with Albert.
Let me go back to a kid missing is about as bad as it gets.
Oh, yeah.
I had a bank robbery 15 years ago to where a female went in the bank, she robbed the bank, she got the money, she came back to the car, and she drove away.
Mm-hmm.
She was prosecuted for that. There were guys in the car with guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but she could have gone into the bank, said, lock those doors, those guys are making me do this.
Right.
Yeah. Yours is now, we have 30-some days of Gannon missing, and you haven't talked to one law enforcement officer to say, I know where he is and he's safe.
I never did not try to talk to you guys. I never did not. No one ever, when I felt like I was getting like completely like bam parted by El Paso, no one ever reached out to me from FBI to like have a conversation like you did. No one ever did.
And you don't feel comfortable talking to El Paso, why?
This is a serious disconnect. Nobody has ever reached out to me from the FBI to have a serious conversation like you did. She's arrested and charged with murder. That is why she's sitting in this room having this conversation. He didn't reach out to talk to her. You're arrested, and this is an interrogation.
It's not that I don't feel comfortable talking to them. I just feel like from point A to point B, they have taken this approach. And like you made even a comment about something about Palmer Lake and all this, about this.
Right.
Because that's the approach that they've taken, as if it's just a person who is not alive. And that bothers me because I don't want.
Well, we're actually we're the ones that told them that. And that's statistically true.
What?
That's funny.
You statistically told them what? From
Gannon's age and from the amount of time that he's been missing, he is most likely dead.
But what I'm saying is, as a parent, is that maybe because you're like used to saying that or something, but is that something like as a parent you would want to hear?
No, but would you rather hear a lie? Would you rather hear statistically he's probably alive? When it's about I would say it's less than a 1% chance at this point.
But why?
And him being 11, They would have asked for something.
But why?
Kidnappings don't happen without a demand or without it being a parental deal.
Parental deal or a demand. Yeah. So you're saying that nothing else, nobody intervenes ever. Ever.
I've seen one other time, and again, I've worked violent crime in Denver for 20 years, a little over. And I saw one kid wander down the street. He had autism, and this was up in Brighton. And a guy took him in the house. He had him for a day. The guy was mentally disabled as well. So we had two things happening at once. We had a kid with autism who just started wandering. And then we had a developmentally delayed adult who was just playing video games with him for 24 hours. But we ended up, the public said, there. And I remember knocking on the door. He had made little blankets for the kid in there. The kid was playing video games and nothing bad had happened.
Right.
That's the exception. I've been to where kids have been dismembered, 10-year-olds.
That's awful.
And from the blood in the house, that's what I'm thinking happened. I'm not saying he just got dismembered in the house, but there's enough blood in there that we don't think he survived.
How could you have, like, possibly say that when you clearly see Gannon walking, leaving on Monday? That's
no, leaving on Monday at 10. Yes.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Walking. Okay.
But he comes back.
Walking.
Correct.
Okay. Walking.
Not walking well.
Totally fine. Stomach hurts. Walk with like this. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but he's back at 2.
Back at 2. Okay. Okay. If that's what you say, then then this whole thing is like even pointless to even say anything, because if you're saying back at 2, but then you're also saying something about going legs and here and there and whatever, and it's like none of it is even making sense. It doesn't even make sense.
You're damn right. It does not make sense. So I'm going to pause it there because I know that there's a period and they probably already have the room ready that isn't recorded, but they're aware that Grusing got her to talk, so they don't want to interrupt. They're willing to let her talk as much as she will until, because I know that they leave and then they come back too. So I'm going to pause it there and we'll pick up tomorrow with it because it's a good point. Because now she says, please do not forget it. Yeah, it's the only truth that she had told. So in the beginning, when that footage came out of Letecia leaving with Gannon, and he looked bad. And it was her returning. There was a lot of speculation Gannon never got out the other side of the vehicle. And she was adamant. That they only paid the neighbor for one half of the footage, that Gannon got out the other side. You could see it from the shadows. You could see it from this. It was the one thing she was being honest about. But then, and she even sent out the alarms, remember the movements to show that multiple people were in the home. But then at some point, she realized it could actually work in her advantage to make it seem like he never did come back. And that's the narrative she's going to put forth when they go off the record and they come back. So I'm going to pause it there. And then I'm going to switch over real quickly to our missing child for tonight's live. And our missing child. Why is that still going? Okay. Our missing child for tonight is Zoe Settle. She has been missing since December 29, 2023 out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. She is 17 years old. Zoe was last seen on December 29, 2023, and she may travel to Portsmouth, Virginia area. So if you or anyone you know has information on Zoe's whereabouts, please contact the Virginia Beach Police Department. But thank you all so much for being here. If you did not catch the earlier live, definitely go check that out. And I will see you guys tomorrow about like 7:30 Eastern, and we will pick up where we left off. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening.